Hi guys, it's Risa. How you doing? Today I'm going to teach you how to make my oatmeal breakfast bars. You're going to want to heat up your oven to 350 degrees, and I'm going to tell you all your ingredients. Make sure you have them out because you don't want to do what I do sometimes and forget an ingredient, especially an important one. I've done that before. Who hasn't, right? So for your dry ingredients, you're going to need oatmeal. I just use any 1 minute oatmeal, 2 cups. I like to use either swerve or stevia. Sometimes I use syrup, and you're going to need a 1/3 cup. If you want to use brown sugar or regular sugar, you can do that. If you're doing Weight Watchers, you just have to count for the points. You're going to use 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder, okay? A pinch of salt, and I don't really measure my cinnamon because I just love cinnamon. So if you want to just use a 1/2 teaspoon, a tablespoon, I just sprinkle it in, but it's up to you. If you like a lot, use a lot. So I'm going to do my dry ingredients, but I'll tell you what my wet ingredients are, okay? So you need 3/4 of a cup of milk. I use almond milk and it's 0 points. It calls for a 1/4 cup of egg whites or 1 egg white. You can use an egg, but I use Egg Creations, a 1/4 cup, 0 points for both. Now, you use 2/3 of a cup of applesauce. Be careful, this is unsweetened. The sweetened's a very, very high in sugar. Also watch even the unsweetened ones. If you can find, I think even the no-name brands have less sugar in them. So just account for that, okay? So I use some vanilla. I use about a tablespoon. If you like a lot of vanilla, use more. A little bit more can't hurt. It just gives really nice flavor. And let's see, I use about a 1/2 of a small lemon. I like the juice of the lemon, and a little bit of the rind gives it, again, a little bit more flavor. And I like everything that I make to taste really good. My ingredient that I put in is some fruit. So I took 2 apples and I chopped them up, about a cup. I like lots of apples. If you don't like lots of apples, you don't have to use a lot, but I used about a cup. And I love peaches, especially this time of year. But if you don't have fresh and you don't want to peel them, just buy frozen peaches. There's no added sugar to them, and I like to add some peaches, lots of peaches. There's about a cup of peaches here, and just cut them up. So I'm going to do my dry ingredients first. Let's see if you can see. I'm going to just put this down a little bit more so you can see. I'm going to put this down there. I think you can see the bowl now. There we go. So my oatmeal, a pinch of salt, my sugar, well, truvia, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and I'm going to just sprinkle in a little bit of cinnamon now and stir it. And there's my dry ingredients. Okay? One thing I think I should mention is to take you can take a 9 by 13. This pan's a little bit bigger, but whatever size pan that you have, and make sure you spray it well, because then it won't stick. And who wants it to stick? Okay, for your wet ingredients, I have my 1/4 cup of Egg Creations, 1/4 cup of egg whites, 3/4 of a cup of almond milk. Now, if you don't have almond milk and you use 1% or skim milk, that's fine too. But this doesn't count as any smart points. I put in about a tablespoon of vanilla. There we go. And 2/3 of a cup of unsweetened applesauce. Mine is about 7 smart points because there's still quite a bit of sugar in the one that I bought. Now I'm just going to add some lemon to my wet ingredients. Got my cute little gadget, and I'm going to just put some in. It's probably about a tablespoon or so of lemon juice. And I'm just going to put in a little bit of some lemon rind. If you don't like it, you don't have to add it, but I think it gives some nice flavor. You can use half or just even a little bit goes a long way. Just going to whisk that. Really easy. Make sure you see it. Okay. And now you're just going to add it to your dry ingredients. Okay. So I'm going to mix this up together, obviously. Really super easy. What I love about this is it's a delicious breakfast. It's a delicious snack. And it's even really nice to serve for company. You could add it with a little bit of Cool Whip on top. You can add it with some whipped cream on top. Just on its own, it's really good. It's fantastic. So we've mixed this together. One other thing I like to do is with my apple, I'm just going to add a little bit of some cinnamon to it. Sprinkle a little bit and mix it together. Again, if you're not a big cinnamon fan like me, you don't have to do that. And sometimes I add even a little bit of some sweetener to it, but I'm not going to right now. So I'm just going to add that. And my peaches. I'm going to mix that. Just like that. Really easy. There you go. Okay? And that's it. I'm going to add that to my pan. Voila. Yummy, yummy. I love the smell of cinnamon. And the fresh lemon, actually, I'm going to make sure I get all of it. Make sure you mix it really well too. And I don't know what came in here. All right, maybe a little bit of apple. I think a little bit of apple stem. So what I like to do at the end is I like to sprinkle again a little bit of cinnamon. It just looks so pretty when you sprinkle a little bit on top. And I like things that look pretty because when you look at food and it looks pretty, it's nicer to eat. I've saved a little bit of peaches for the end, and I like to just put a few on top. If you want to try a different fruit, you can use a different fruit, but I'm just going to do that. Just put some on top. It looks so pretty, and there you have it. Bake it for about 40 minutes on 350 degrees. I'm just going to stick it in my oven. And I have some right here. I made it a few days ago, and you can see there's only 4 pieces left. So for the oatmeal, it's 16 points for 2 cups. You're going to count your applesauce. So depending on which brand you use, calculate it. Mine came to 7 smart points. And so I'm just calculating 23. So it's about 23 points altogether for this whole delicious bake. And I got about 12 pieces. So about, depending on how big you cut it, it could be 1 smart point, it could be 2, it could be 3. Again, I cut them into different sizes, and I got about 12. So I'd say about 2 smart points, and it looks so pretty, and it's really good. Oh my goodness. You see, I forgot something. I sometimes add some almonds, about a tablespoon. I added almonds to this one. I didn't add it to that one. You see what I mean? So you could sprinkle some almonds, about a tablespoon. That's another smart point, not much. So that would be 24 smart points. And if you do 12, so then it's 2 times 12 is 24. There. So I hope you liked this video, and I was going to show you one other thing. I just buy these skewers at the Dollarama and just stick it in and make sure that it's cooked well. So I hope you like this video and you subscribe, and don't forget your ingredients like me, and come visit me at Risa's Recipes and Weight Watchers Tips on Facebook. Love you guys. Bye for now.